Man, oh man, I did not see that coming. Ah, yes, I did. Look, we'll get into it right after this.
Work hard, play hard, grind hard, stay hard. No, we stay out, make your way out. But I just can't stop, won't stop hustling. But I just
Power Book 2 episode. No, Power Book. Power Book 2 Ghost Season 2 Episode 8 titled A Fair Fight. Let's unpack it. All right. Before we get started, I want to give you a warning. There are spoiler warnings or spoilers in this review. If you haven't watched the episode yet and you're watching reviews for whatever odd reason that you will be watching reviews for if you haven't watched the TV show, there's spoilers in here. And secondly, I got to give a shout out to my sponsors. I Am Trill, Future Trillionaire Clothing. I got my own collection over there. Go over there to iamtrill.com. Enter the promo code Abstract. You get a little something off your order. And listen, I go by the name of the Black Abstract. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you. Now let's get down to business. Enough of small talk. Dante is a fucking snitch. I knew it. I knew that motherfucker. I knew it was something around him. He's a damn informant. This gangster motherfucker. He one of them motherfuckers that snitch and gave the government so much they just allow him to do whatever the fuck he want to do because he could turn people in and shit. If anything, he probably gonna turn in Lorenzo, and that's how he wind up gonna get him out the way. And then they probably gonna wind up killing Dante in the process. But I think they planned his ass anyway. So Diana wasn't my least favorite person in this episode. And then listen, I saw a lot of y'all capping for Diana last week. She was wrong, and she getting everything she deserved from being wrong. But she did redeem herself a little bit. How she played Tariq get his drugs back. The episode starts off with Tariq going in that classroom, and I like how they brought back a lot of those old characters. You see Lala in there. You see who else was in there? Proctor. They had my boy Proctor in there. They had Raina in there. I'm like, yo, this is fire. Like, that's dope. That was dope as hell. Then you see Lauren walking in there. And I think the fact that Lauren was in there and she wasn't dead was kind of foreshadowing that something was gonna happen. Once I saw her, I said, why is Lauren in here? She ain't dead. It was a foreshadow that something would be happening to her. And we saw what happened to her. Effie had to, like my man Hassan say, turn her TV off. Effie, it took a woman to do a man's job, cause Brayden bitch ass ain't having in him. But yeah, that was great seeing all the old characters, man. Even Ray Ray was in there. He was like, 50 Cent was like, man, you had it coming. I'm like, yeah. And then his dad was gonna pick up, and we thought we was gonna see Ghost, and we didn't see Ghost. So listen, maybe Ghost still is alive. The fact that we didn't get to see him on screen, but nah, dude that play Ghost, I heard he don't like Courtney Kemp, so he ain't never coming back to the show. Anyway, that was pretty sweet. We saw Milgram in there too. She was talking about Tariq's phone, and as so far, everybody think Milgram's death is a suicide. So I don't know how Monet got her up there and roped her up and killed her and managed to stay fly, but she did it somehow. So I thought that was pretty dope. We see Tariq later with Effie in the bed, and he gets a call. His phone's ringing from Davis, and he's talking about Tate. He's like, yo, what does Tate know about you? He was like, he ain't got no dirt on me. Then we see Tate meeting with Kamal, and Kamal mentions that they had a witness that supposedly saw two people, but he's not really trying to follow up on it because he doesn't believe it. Unbeknownst to him, that actually is the truth. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to figure out who the witness was. Probably was Dante's snitch ass. I'm gonna be saying that all throughout the interview. I'm making a little reference to his rat. I can't believe this nigga a rat, man. I'm so disgusted. And he like one of them proud rats too. He ain't got no shame in his game. And now we figure out why he didn't want people in the room. And I wish Drew would have found this information earlier. But I love the fact that everything came together. You know what I'm saying? Everybody figured out who was who. I wanted to see that. We find out Monet's been staying with Dante this whole time. And she's upset about Zeke. And she wants him to call. She's calling him. He's not answering. And then Dante's phone winds up ringing. And he winds up calling Dante. So Dante's like, listen, I'll go meet with him. And he's like, yo, I'll convince him to come back here and shit. He was one of those convincing little snitch ass. Super convincing. We see Tariq goes in the classroom. He talks to Tate, and Tate's like, "Listen, I need what you owe. It's time to pay up. Listen, I gotta go on stand so I can say good things, or I can say bad things. Either way, I'm gonna say things, and if I don't get what I want, those things can either help you or hurt you." So Tariq like, I don't know what I need to do, but he decides to go through with giving Tate the picture. You know what I'm saying, and possibly ending his friendship with Brayden, because listen, Brayden got a lot of shit on his shoulders. Brayden didn't know how real the game was going to get. Yes, Brayden, this is a real game. They don't just call it's called the game, but it's not a game at all. This is real life. Listen, the fact that Mecca is holding Kane hostage in his brothel. No, it's not a brothel, it's a condo, but it sounds better saying brothel. He got how listen, Kane's supposed to be the big bad of the fucking show. He's getting choked up, slapped around, all kinds of shit, super violated. He's like writing on his face. Nah, he didn't write on him. I made that up. But the fact that he's just super violating Kane, I'm like, damn, Kane. Damn, Bobby Brown, is that you? What the fuck? Is this Kane? Oh, you only bully people. You only bully college students, I see. You got no wins when it comes to this snitch. Let a snitch choke you up. He made him put his finger on the joint. Said, I'm tracking your ass. Made him sit in the house all day. So that's what Chef's job was. Chef never got to leave. Yo, Chef never got to leave. Yo, I would've been so mad. Like, man, this is some bullshit. I want to go home. And we find out that Mecca knew that they stole it. Everybody knew that, though. Every conspiracy theory that I saw knew that Mecca knew that they stole the drugs. So, crazy. Back at the house, we see Papa Tejada is visibly upset. And this is the clip that got released. I did a video for it if you want to check it out. When he was in the bedroom, he's visibly upset. And Kane was saying he couldn't leave. We didn't know that Kane was under duress, that Kane was crying out for help at that moment. Like, Poppy, save me. This nigga's crazy. Mecca's like, I was like, yo, this nigga's a nut job. This passive-aggressive snitch is actually pretty scary. But anyway, Papa Tejada, he's ready to strap up, ride out. And then Drew comes in. And he's like, listen, nah, Poppy, that's not what happened. We stole the drugs. I'm like, oh, why'd he tell him that? But he told him that so Papa wouldn't be on a wild goose chase, laying and shooting people down that he didn't have to. So I understand it. But at the same time, now him and Diana are Missions Impossible, Ocean's 11 type on a mission, a covert mission to get the drugs back. And I'm like, oh, boy, how this going to work out? But they played it off pretty sweet. I like how they got in there. Like, Diana used what she knew to get what that was a Monet tactic right there. I'm like, yeah, that's Monet. She used what she want. You gotta use what you got to get what you want, baby. Police pull you over, baby. You just use what you got to get what you want. She did that with Tariq, stupid. Listen, I did not like Tariq's thinking this whole episode. Like, he wasn't focused. Or this is intentional. You know, Tariq is one of them super smart motherfuckers. He was either super distracted this episode, or this is all part of his game plan, because he does know how to move pieces around and shit. But it seemed like he was just distracted this episode, and I wasn't really feeling that. I'm like, come on, Reek, like, get your shit together. It's a bunch of pieces and shit going on around you, and you kind of like oblivious to a lot of things. So, especially with the Lauren, like, don't be blinded by that. That was your pop's weakness right there, was Angie. You shouldn't have no weakness. If she's a detrimental to you and your freedom, what needs to be done needs to be done. And you got to do it. Like, stop being a pussy. You can kill your dad, but you can't kill your girlfriend. I don't understand it. It just don't make it. I don't understand. I know you want to sleep with your dad, but still, like, this your freedom. Back in court, Tate pulls a fucking stunt. And listen, when they was in the stall, and he's like, yo, I'm tired of smelling people's shits. I've been in here for however long. And Tariq slides on the And I'm like, yo, is we gonna get to see the damn photo? They ain't even show us the photo. Nah, they like, nope, you're not here. And listen, I noticed Sax wasn't really in this episode. He was in it, but he only had maybe 2 lines this whole fucking episode. I'm like, damn, they did my man Sax dirty. But Tate makes an implication that Kamal actually about the conversation he had, which is, you can't really do that. That actually could have caused his brother his job. We learned later on. But Tate's like, no, he's a smart guy. But I'm like, that's crazy. He sold his own brother up the river. But they have a meeting in the chambers, and Davis wants to get the shit completely dismissed. Of course, Jenny's like, nah, not happening. So I'm like, oh boy. So she get 48 hours to kind of produce something valid, and I'm like, okay, she ain't got nothing. So what's gonna happen? Like, but then find out she happened, and I'm like, damn, they bought that shit back from last season. Like, they bought some shit back from that. Like, I had completely forgot about this situation, and they brought it back. Next thing we see Mecca and Zeke meet up. That was the clip that got released yesterday. I did a video on that too as well. If you was watching, if you really rock with me, you would have saw it. But I know y'all don't rock with me like that. But anyway, it ain't even y'all's YouTube. They don't like recommending my videos. But it's all good. I'm gonna keep rocking out, doing my thing. Anyway, he tells him all this stuff about Zeke trying to get him in, blah blah blah. And Zeke's like, all right, he's all in. He sounds like he's all in, but he like, yo, I need you to talk to Monet. And then we see Zeke agrees, and they have a conversation. We also see Drew and Diana hatching up a plot to try to get in where they fit in. And I like they plan. I'm like, can they execute it? I don't know. Zeke and Monet talk. Monet tells the whole backstory, how she got knocked up, and her sister, I believe, wanted a boy, and it fit. And once they find out he was going to the draft and once they find out he was coming up to New York, she decided to be in his life more. She was just that rich auntie that could take care of him, blah, blah, blah. And they have a whole kind of open heart thing. But Zeke at the end was just like, I'm done with both of y'all niggas. Like, fuck both of y'all. Like, Dante's trying to chime in, blah, 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 blah. Zeke was like, ain't no hoe in my blood. Now, he was like, yo, I'm out, man. And Zeke got an album out, too. Make sure y'all check that out. It's called Odyssey, man. I forget his real name. Daniel Bellamy. That's the name. Daniel Zeke Cross. Or Zeke Cross is the name on the show. But Daniel Bellamy is his real name. He got an album out called Odyssey. I didn't get a chance to check it out yet. But you guys check it out if you can. I might hit him up for a feature. Who knows? Ain't no miss in my blood. We might do a remix. Anyway, yeah, that shit was hilarious, though. He was like, yeah, I'm going to get a draft. I'm going to be done with this family. I'm going to be done with all y'all motherfuckers. I can't wait to, the dude, I know y'all saw the video with dude imitating, him and the girl was imitating that whole dinner scene. I can't wait to see him do some scenes from this episode. I'm like, yo, that's we see Everette and Drew doing what the fuck they do. You know what I'm saying? And, Drew makes the play to get the card. I'm like, that's pretty sweet. Back at the house, Brayden's residence, we see that Jenny Sullivan got some evidence. She got some real evidence. She got some uber evidence. Like, the whole time when Kane got pulled over by Ramirez, the shit got caught on the dash cam. And Brayden's brother is just spilling the beans. He don't care. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with this dude? Like, he want to get killed? Like, he like, oh, I'm ready to testify. I'm willing. Yeah, we got kidnapped. We had to sell drugs. We had to do this. I'm like, this dude is a fucking metal man. But he don't know he messing with some gangsters. Like, they could turn this TV off for real, if they wanted to. Brayden's kind of being adamant about everything. He like, I gotta testify. But, his brother is like gung-ho. I'm like, dude, like, chill the fuck out. Like, bro, you gonna get them all jammed up. Like, you running your mouth too much. But the fact that she got these pictures and shit from last season, I'm like, damn, she put a rabbit out the hat. So it comes down to like either Brayden or his brother might have to testify in the stand. And Brayden's trying to cover up. He's like, no, he's a cokehead. He's lying. But she had pictures from the dash cam. I'm like, damn, ain't nothing you can say. So bad, so bad, so sad. There's a lot of ins and outs at the table too, but I'll cover the main part. We see back at the room, TARIQ and Brayden kind of get into it because TARIQ did a snake shit and went behind his back and gave a photo to Tate. So he's like, yo, you not the only one. You know what I mean? You can't just think of yourself. Something he said. And he stormed out. Had a little episode. We see Diana comes in, put a charm in, and then she works her plan. She scans his phone with her face, gets the code, and then her and Drew meet in the hallway, and they hit the joint and all the wall. I'm like, oh, they got all that back. And they didn't even mention in the episode how he took that loss. So I don't even think he know the drug. I don't think he took that loss. But they figured out the whole operation, how they figured it out so quick and how they figured out they stash. I'm like, yo, that's crazy, man. Yo, that was dope. That was good teamwork. That shit was effortless, easy. But that's what I mean. TARIQ wasn't thinking and shit. Like TARIQ should have been able. TARIQ. I'm sorry. I call him that. TARIQ should have been able to fish through the bullshit. I feel like to kind of see, like, you know what I'm saying, like what was going on with her. But he had a lot on his mind. You know what I'm saying. He was trying to kind of get her out of there so he could go meet with I think Davis or maybe Lauren, one of them. No, he was meeting with his lawyer, but I think Lauren just happened to be in the way. And yes, this is the last of Lauren, as we know. Effie turned her TV off, but we didn't see a body, so it's a possibility that Effie might not do it. But the way she came in the room feeling guilty when she took her clothes off and lay next to TARIQ makes me believe she probably did the do, and she's thinking on it, it's hard on it, it's on her brain. So she really loves TARIQ, man. For her to do that, like she really genuinely love him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not murdering somebody over somebody you don't know. I don't care how much you want to cover up your business or your connect. You're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So we see Lorenzo and Drew get their stuff back. They go around and hitting all their licks, get back on point. Zeke has a press conference where he's announcing that he'll be leaving school and focusing on his game. And then right then the phone start buzzing, and then all of a sudden everybody finds out that Zeke learned about his or lied about his age, and his face was just like, dude was like, yo, let's find out this true. It's over for the Kings. We see TARIQ decides to stop to talk to Lauren, and they're talking about everything, and she's telling him, listen, I had Brayden and Kane on the wire. I didn't have you. That's why I didn't think it was you. They told me it was Brayden. And TARIQ like, what? You got to get out of here now. And she like, why? He's like, man, you got to get out of here. We see that at the basketball court, Monet, Zeke, and Dante all meet up or go to see Zeke after what happened. And they're assuming that Lorenzo leaked the information. And I'm like, I think Dante did it because I think Dante doesn't want him to play basketball. He kind of just wants him to kind of need them. You know what I'm saying? So, me personally, I think Dante did it with his snitch ass. As they're talking, gunshots erupt and they start getting fired on. And I'm like, who the hell is shooting at these old motherfuckers? And they assume that it's Lorenzo. I'm assuming that it's probably fractions of GTG that's left over. And, trying to get them boys. I don't know. But we see Effie and TARIQ all chummed up eating Chinese food, and he explains the situation about Lauren. And he's like, yeah, you don't understand her or blah, blah, blah. And Lauren gets mad. She's like mad for him. I think she's mad at the fact that how he's so gullible when it comes to her, but she's also mad at the fact that Lauren is still on his mind and Effie's really not, even by she's sitting there though with you. And I'm thinking my whole time, like, yo, don't Effie gotta fucking go to school? She lived 2 hours of fucking way. Why is you at my school all the time? But we see Effie calls Kane. I don't know how she got his number. And she tells Kane, of all people, I don't know why the hell she tells Kane about this. And that's the thing. The whole shit got lost in translation. Effie probably would have been good because they got Brayden's testimony. So I don't even think they're going with the whole Lauren situation. You know what I'm saying? Because that whole shit was that shit was like on Milgram, and where her not being in the picture no more, I think it's kind of like, whatever. But so Effie meets with Kane, and then Kane meets with Brayden, and kind of just reiterates what Effie says, but he pretty much puts it on Brayden's hands to take care of it, or I'm gonna kill you, like kill her, or I'm gonna kill you. At the dinner, we see Tate and I believe the head of the Democrat Party meet, and he gives him the picture, and his face is priceless when he see that shit. He like, oh, this nigga on blackface. What's going on here? The lawyer, Sonovan, tries to talk to Brayden, kind of trying to get him to testify. And he's like, yo, I'm not doing it, and I'm making sure my brother don't do it, yada, yada, yada. And she keep it moving. I don't know if she was stalking him or she kind of want to run into him. The attorney of the estate takes Tariq to see where Yaz is staying, that she's in a good house. So I'm guessing they're kind of just getting her character out the way because there's really nothing else for her to do. So they're getting certain characters out of the way. Like they killing off some of these characters and ending their storylines just so they could bring new storylines and new people in for the next season. So yeah, that's what I think is going on. But yeah, he goes and just stops and looks in there and sees how happy he was, and she gets in the car. Monet tells Dante it was Lorenzo that shot him up, and like we got to get it popping. You know what I'm saying? But she's like, listen, yeah, she's agreeing to kind of go off with him or live or whatever the lifestyle. If they could get Zeke involved, but he's like, listen, she wants the husband dead. He's like, yo, forget all that. Let's just get a boat or a plane and just fly to wherever we want to go. But she ain't feeling that idea. The next scene is Brayden and Effie in the park, the scene that I talked about yesterday. You can watch the video if you want to hear about it. I'm not going back into detail about it. But she's pretty much telling them, yo, you got to fucking man up and stop being a bitch. But Brayden, to him, bitch is life. We see Kane tell Mecca, like, listen, I'm leaving. Start putting this shit on. And Mecca just straight sunned him, pulled the biscuit out on him, and then choked him up, and then fucking act like he's about to chop his hand off. I said, yo, this motherfucker really got some anger issues that he need to work out with his snitch ass. So he puts a tracker on Kane's phone, and he pretty much got him locked up in the house saying he can't do nothing. And I'm like, damn, that's crazy. And he's like, listen, I know you stole my drugs. I let that slide. But where the ring at? You know what I'm saying? Like, where my bag at? And he's like, yo, I ain't got no bag. But as we know, Drew took the bag. And now Tariq has the bag. So I'm like, this is like a little too much for me. Mo's like, he's like, yo, I might not see you again. I just tell Drew and him I love him, blah, blah, blah. And she like, yo, who is this dude? What do he look like? She like, yo, you trapped in the house, just leave, or blah, blah, blah. And he like, yo, I can't. But anyway, he sent him a picture. We don't see what happens afterwards. But Tariq gets a call to get the bag. It has a tracer in there. And he sees some paperwork in there. And I'm like, oh, what's going on with this? Soon I saw it, I said, oh, don't tell me this dude a government informant. And lo and behold, he also has passes for all the kids. Airport passes. Not passes. What the fuck I just say? I'm tired. He has, damn, I just had a brain fart. What's them shits called? The fucking ID things. Passports. I said passes. Passports. Made it up for the kids and shit. I'm like, okay, he ready. We see Brayden in front of Lauren's house. Tariq calls him to grab her. He does this thing. Drives her out. Back at the fucking school, we see Dante lets himself into Tariq's apartment. I don't know how he got in there. And he's pretty much explaining how he wants his product back. Or not, he not even sold the product. He just wants the bag back because I'm guessing he's assuming maybe the ring's in there. Or he just wants that paperwork. And Tariq kind of just used his leverage of what he know about him to kind of finesse his way out of a killing. Real quick, and then extort him for a quick little $2 million. Something like just everyday shit for Tariq St. Patrick. Extorting niggas by day, going to school by night. No, extorting niggas by night, going to school by day. He told Dante, I need that pay. And Dante put that gun to his head. Dante, I'm about to do a rat review for this one. Yo, if you didn't check out my rat review for the last episode, you missing out and your grandmama stink. Anyway, Yeah, so they have a little. This is probably the first time they ever gonna meet in the whole season. This whole season they had no scenes together. So we finally see them, and it was a battle of the wits, and Tariq talked his way out of it. And then he's talking about if I see. Oh, then he mentions how he knew Tommy, he knew Ghost. He said he was the one that ratted on Lobos. And they was gonna send him up, but then all of a sudden he said, "Thanks to your," he's like, "When you go to hell, thank your pops for doing that one for me." So he knows a lot, and a lot of people thought this was Ghost's brother, which isn't the case. You gotta stop these theories. So he knows a lot when it comes to Tariq St. Patrick. I'm like, damn, he know all about this boy life. Brayden and Lauren are speeding fast. She sleep. Then he goes in some dark back road and tells her to get out. He pulled a pistol out on her, and he doesn't do it. And I knew he wasn't gonna do it. Next thing you know, Effie comes up, and I think they had this plan. She comes up, snuff Lauren, gets her in the car, and we don't know what happened to her. We don't know if Effie offed her or they took her somewhere safe, possibly, till the trial was over. But, man, she hit the shit out of Lauren. Lauren was like, "No, please, I don't have a bop." Get the fuck in the car, bitch. We see Mecca come back to the apartment. He's about to spaz on Kane, and we see Monet there, and everything decides to come out about who's who. And Kane's like, "Yo, so you've been playing me this whole time to get to her?" And Dante's like, "Yeah." He looking like, what the fuck? But anyway, he's like, "Yo, how about a better?" They're like, "Yo, we got to kill Lorenzo." And they're like down with it and shit. And Kane's like, "Yeah, I need to get rid of him too and shit." And so that's their plan, is to get rid of Lorenzo. Dante obviously like, "Look, listen, we could just get on a jet and go feel some sand in between our toes. I ain't got time for all this New York hostility y'all got going on." But they like, nope. They want to kill. And I don't know why that's the theme on the show. Stop killing your fathers, your parents. What's wrong with these people? Golly. Next scene and final scene, we see Effie walking in with her little cute feet, and she's taking all her stuff off, and she gets in the bed and lays next to Tariq, and you just see a look of worry on her face. And we allude to the possibility that she must have harmed Lauren. Decent episode, man. It wasn't good as last episode, but it was a good episode. As we know, it's always the 8th episode that's great, and it's number 9 is kind of the bridge for number 10, which is normally great as well too. Love it. I love what they're going. I did not see Lauren get knocked off. I thought she was in the clear, but the fact she got knocked off, it is what it is. Yeah, so she was the big death in the episode. I'm trying to think if anybody else got knocked off. No, I think that was just it. Yeah, but let me know what you guys thought about this. Post your comments below. I want to hear everything. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And as always, peace, love, and prosperity. It's nothing but give me a hug. Come on. All right, peace.